Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about being very wary of this new age wokeness. Be very wary. Keep an eye open. Keep your senses turned on. Stay enlightened. Keep your protection and your armor around you and ready at all times. It's been a lot of this new age wokeness going on, and what's crazy is you can tell that the system had something to do with how it was presented to us and how it's being perpetrated. Because when you actually process and you are working your own connection with source, you understand that there is no new age wokeness. This whole realm is in cycles. Just like we got seasons, just like we got the years, just like we got days. Yes, we gave them man-made names, but these things are happening all over the world, whether they're speaking some kind of language or no language. You know what I mean? And a lot of this new age wokeness is kind of leaving people lost. People that wasn't lost are now becoming lost, running around chasing their own tail, chasing other people's tail, all in the wrong direction for the sake of saying that they are woke. When you're awake, you don't tell people you're awake. They can see it. I've never once got my ass out the bed and went outside and had to let people know, yeah, I'm awake. They can look at me and see that I am functioning and I am awake. That's how simple this is. This new age wokeness is not new. It's demonic. You have the Western society system, then you got the new age wokeness, and then you're gonna have natural law. See, the new age wokeness came in the middle between where natural law is at in the system. And they say, you know what? We're gonna create a median right here because a lot of people aren't gonna do their own research and tap in and try to get connected with source. Because we already understand with source, there's a whole structure that follows, that goes along with walking that light. It's no different than when you follow the witchy playbook. It's a whole system and structure. Their structure leads with fear. God's structure leads with love. That's simple. Or you can replace it with another word. But we know when we use that word love, it requires a lot of work. You know, it requires a lot of discipline. When I think of love, I'm literally making a ball, and it's a whole bunch of items to the recipe that goes inside there. A lot of people only look at this part right here and be like, oh, well, I just gotta be happy. This is the new age wokeness that you hear all these weird people saying. If I ain't happy, then I ain't doing it. Your ass working a job, ain't you? You at one of these plantations, ain't you? And I know you not happy. We out here doing things every single day that doesn't make us happy. But when it comes to building real relationships with people or building real relationships with source, why do we feel that there needs to be some kind of happiness connected to it? I don't like to use happy. I like to use joyful, because joyful is more fulfilling. I could be sitting right here just like this, and I'm extremely joyful and lit in the inside. I don't have to be sitting here like, hey guys, you see me over here? I'm happy. This means I'm happy. So even saying that, they teach us in movies and also in indoctrination school how to simulate these emotions. So that means even if you're not feeling this way, you can still artificially create that physical response. Because when you happy and you real happy, it starts from within here. This is where it starts from. your solar plex chakra, you got your heart chakra. You got these big ones right here where it starts at. This is where it starts at when you're real happy. You ever been real happy and you just thought of something and you just bust out laughing and nobody else knew what you was doing on the inside that made you laugh? It wasn't like you just said, oh, crackers, ha ha, and start laughing. You actually time traveled back to a space where something happened and transpired, and it brought back that energy and emotion that you felt, and it reflected outwardly. A lot of this new wokeness is all connected to happiness. You don't know how many people I keep hearing saying, well, if they don't make me happy, I ain't doing it. Well, I had to leave him because he wasn't making me happy. I had to get away from her because she wasn't making me happy. And it's like, you realize you are regurgitating someone else's verbiage and language without the proper understanding of what's actually transpiring and taking place. You don't get to a 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 year relationship by being focused on happiness. You ain't always been happy with your parents, but I guarantee you your relationship is, for the ones that do, not speaking for the ones who got weird ships with their renters, you know what I mean? Because some of us done had some weird relationships. I've had a weird one with mine. Well, I'll say my mom. My sperm donor isn't around. He literally just dropped off his seed. He got out the way. Everything else I had to figure out. But me and my mom's is like that. You know what I mean? Like I've been long increments without being happy with my mom. You know what I mean? But that's still my mom. I don't hate her. And if somebody tried to do something or was going to happen to her, I would still go all the way out my way to see what's up, to check the person, the being, the situation, location, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of them people, like, can't nobody be mean to my family but me, okay? Like, even my brothers, we used to be outside, like, me and my friends. I could joke on my brothers all day. I could hit my brothers all day. But you are not allowed to do that. The minute anybody else do it, I gotta come check you. That's how my spirit has been set up my entire life. So when I get to this space to where I'm at now, and I'm understanding like this new wokeness, because it's a lot of people that's on this new woke wave, you know what I mean? And as far as where we're at today right now, a lot of beings aren't using the word woke anymore. You know what I mean? They're just saying, they're saying I'm spiritually connected, or I don't have a religion, I follow nature. But you can tell by their walk of life that they are not following nature. They are not following natural law. If you are following natural law doesn't project astrology outward to us. These are things that you had to dive deep into to receive access and to get that information relayed back to you. This is going to be one of the weirdest spaces that we are going to be in right now, as far as transitioning and trying to engage and meet different people, different like minds, and all of these things that we engage with and that we do. Because you have to open the door somewhere to see what's going on with what and what's happening with who. But once you start to run your own analysis from engaging with these beings, it's already going to become prevalent and obvious that, all right, well, they aren't necessarily following these. You meet one male over here, but he's not following natural law. Man first, if the man is following natural law, he should automatically be what? Putting the creator and source first. Creator and source first, before himself. That's not what you're going to get with most men out here. Most men ain't talking about the creator or source. They'll talk about nature. They'll talk about life. They'll talk about astrology. They'll talk about they'll break down the dirt and the grass with you. You know what I mean? They'll talk about Anunnakis and, Egypt and all this other shit. But they ain't going to talk about source. The one relationship they can establish and build strength and structure and every single day without having to lift a finger or a muscle. This is what I be saying be so weird about this new woke movement that's happening, because everybody goes straight to where? Ancient history, right? For the people around the world that don't have access to technology and living life the way we do over here, they don't have to go back to ancient roots. You can just go down a couple family bloodlines, and then you start from there, and then you start keeping track of everything that's been transpiring and happening from there. But for some reason, in this new woke society, we're in they call it United States of America is where we're at right now. I just call it Western society because it's little Western tribes everywhere. You know what I mean? But a lot of beings always resort first back to Egypt. If the system is pushing us Egypt, then clearly they have a connection with Egypt. So even when I start growing in my space, I had to understand, all right, that's not my history. That's not God the Creator's history. It's part of his story, but that's not the real history. That's not, let me reframe that. It's history. It's demonic history. It's the witchery, and it's showing how far back this debauchery actually goes back to. And that's just one starting point that was still here. It's no telling how many other Egyptian cultures was going from there. You know what I mean? And this is what beings resort to. So now the new woke community will talk to you about everything else but source and creator and the creator's laws. When you start being around people like this and communicating, engaging with people like this, you have to understand that they aren't, on a percentage scale, they only riding with the source maybe 30-40%. Not good enough. That's under 50%. You know what I mean? That's not good enough. It's just that simple. We're in the middle of a war, so I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and be like, oh, well, yeah, well, they know. That doesn't matter. We're in the middle of a battlefield where we can walk outside, open up our medias, and we can see people losing their life because the system had corrupted them. It had put a virus on their computer, you know, put a virus in their vessel. We can see all this happening and transpiring. So if you that connected, then don't talk to me about Egypt. You know, if you real woke, then we should all understand that even when I was little, I used to do this. I don't look like I came from Africa. Simple. When Africans are over here, I know we got South Africa and you got actual Caucasians who were born in South Africa. They come over here. They're real African Americans, you know, and the brown people that come from Africa over here, it's real African Americans. And I'm only saying real because this is the terminology that they use to label that whole landmass Africa. But when you're in Africa and you're in some of these tribes, they don't look at the landmass as Africa. They look at it as the tribe. That's where they start from. They don't look at it and say, oh yeah, we're in Africa. If you go to like certain parts like Nigeria City, where the Western culture has been embedded at, just in the African formula, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna hear and see things like that. But as far as like us over here, we should all understand that we were the first and natural aborigines native to this land. For some reason, the demonic system still pushes the natural beings, the aborigines to this land, off to the side. So they want to say the aborigines and the natives to this land is Spanish looking. You know what I mean? Like lighter brown with the really straight mixed culture, you know, really straight hair. Or if they're not that, then they pass it off to the Caucasians. And to me, it should just register that it's no way in hell that you can be a Caucasian and be an Indian. That's not possible. Because you couldn't make me, but I could make something similar to you. So even a lot of these things, you want to look into history for the woke community, you have to find the right starting grounds. What happened to the Aborigines? They didn't kill everybody off. Everybody wasn't a part of slavery. We already know they had redlining to separate and segregate different cultures of people. We all understand that. You can look around at Gullah Island, Louisiana. It's still a lot of Aborigines. A lot of the states that's up north that haven't become super centralized and converted into this weird stuff. Like, it is because it's connected to this landmass, but it isn't as bad. You don't hear about people going up to like South Dakota or North Dakota to go vacate or party at, or, you know, to just do anything. Idaho. You can name a bunch of states that's up in that upper echelon area. It's hush hush quiet. And we already understand that the real Aborigines to the land would have never built casinos. So that's where it gets really diluted at with this whole new wokeness. Then you got the alphabet community who's jumping aboard the bandwagon, and it's like, hey, it's no hate towards y'all, but under natural law, you wouldn't be here right now. Man and woman goes together under natural law. So that means that you're extremely fucking selfish to end your genetics right here with you. When I think of, and I have to process people in these kinds of things, or even the beings who are just so selfish to say, oh yeah, I'm on my journey, I'm on my spiritual journey, and I'm doing these things, and you know, I don't want to have any children and all this other stuff. You looking at it as children. But this is your bloodline. You know how many beings had to live, who fought to live for themselves, for the ones around them, and for you to make it this far. This is how entitled we are over here. Like, in my world, it's like, of course I want my genetics to live on. My ancestors had to have been here since everybody that's here right now, your peoples somewhere around the world, had to have been here since their ground zero. Everybody ground zero is different. But you don't comprehend how deep these genetics go for all cultures. All cultures. I don't care what culture you are. They run deep. But this new woke society is basically saying, you know what? I'm not gonna bring my bloodline into this realm. I'm gonna kill my genetics off with me. And it's like, whoa. For most, it's like, good job. You get to get rid of your selfish ass, disgusting genetics that we don't have to deal with anymore in this realm. Ever, 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 ever. Ever. But for the ones who do, we have to do a better job at making sure that they're aware and they know what's going on. And we have to stop calling them children. Because they're little adults. They grow into us. People used to call me a child once before, and I grew into an adult. We are preparing the next gen even for the transition. It's a lot of weird things that be happening with this new woke community and this new woke movement and this new open perspective, and we're all individuals, and you know, we're all different in each other's eyes and all of this shit. Like, if we that different, why the fuck do people all around the world resonate with my walk of life following the Creator? Why do my walk of life resonate with all of these other beings? I could pick out things that, oh damn, I've been through that, or damn, I experienced that too, in other people's walks of life. We all want to be so special, but if you put 1,000 ants together, the ants aren't all going to be sitting there saying, oh, I'm special, I'm special, I'm special, I'm special, I'm special, ant. I'm special, ant too. They're going to be like, no, we got a job to do. Okay, you want to lead to find the food? Okay, once you lead, bring some breadcrumbs and drop them back. You know, the rest of the ants follow. That's why they always got these long lines, because to them, it's what we think is like a small landmass is extremely large to them. So how we see the ground how we see mountains is basically almost to a degree how they see what's in front of them. Everything is supersized to ants. But let us tell it, they vibrate and they work more together than a lot of us have been doing by choice. A lot of us is doing it by force, meaning that we work in certain jobs where we got to help certain people. You know what I mean? We go to certain places where we got to help certain people. You know, the structure is set up for us to kind of help, but it's also helping in a selfish manner. So a lot of these things we just gotta be aware of and mindful. Like, if you're gonna be part of this new age woke community, you know what I mean, it's really not new. It's really just a demonic formula. When you become awakened and aware, you don't have to tell people you woke. Your walk of life will show and the light will shine because of how much you speak of the Creator, and you try to reflect it as much as you possibly can in your walk of life. And I say that because we all got obstacles we're going through. We all in a prison system, you know what I mean? So even when I had to go to the real physical prison, I still felt bad for some of the other inmates in there who didn't have certain benefits or didn't get certain privileges. I didn't go out my way for them, but you know, if I looked at them, I was still like, feel a little bad, feel a little guilty for you. I wish I could extend a hand or do a little bit more, but considering the situation, the circumstances, you gotta figure that out over there. You know what I mean? But we gotta keep these things in mind. Like, a lot of things that has been happening, transpiring, they want to peg it over to, oh well, these aren't the times anymore, the times have changed, that's old tradition. It's like, what you call old tradition is natural law. What you call old tradition is natural law. Even the way they used the word traditional was another formula of natural law. It has become so twisted out here that if you don't even understand the verbiage that you're using, you're going to be just as lost as the next being out here. And this is how the other side continuously perpetrates what they are doing. This is how they are able to hide and mask themselves in today's society right now. Masking and hiding themselves in today's society right now. Because you don't have to technically be part of a religion, and then there is no more shaming. You know, when people shame, you kind of get made like people look down on you for shaming somebody, but it's like, when I fuck up, I fuck up. I don't care if you like want to make fun of me for that time span that I fucked up. That's cool, because I'm gonna bounce back. It's like if I miss a shot in the game and then, you know, the people that came to watch me is laughing in the stands, or my buddies keep clowning me on the court or some shit like that. It's like, you allowed to do that. I gotta suck it up. Now watch me make up for it. Watch me make up for it. Same way you laughed at me for missing a shot, I'm gonna make 2 or 3 shots. And that's either gonna shut you up, or it's gonna make you come on and be like, good job. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of applause or kudos to stepping my game up. You know what I mean? But keep these things in mind when you out here facing these battles, and make sure, if you're a female, if you're dealing with men, you gotta make sure they are connected with source. Meaning connection with source, meaning you can tell by their walk of life. They don't have to have all the money in the world, because Creator don't give a fuck about the money. Okay? Say it how you want to say it, take it how you want to take it. Look at their walk of life. How genuine, how sincere are they? You know what I mean? How honest are they? How much do they speak of the Creator? How much do they try to, you know, stay connected with source? Even in Western society, you can do all of these things, but you still also, on the flip side, have to understand the structure that we're in right now. You know what I mean? So you can be connected with nature, but you also have to understand phones and computers to a degree too. You know what I mean? So, but I ain't want to run it up too long. Keep these things in mind. You know what I mean? There is no new wokeness. You know, and there is no old traditional. We got natural law, and then we got this demonic witchcraft that's taking place right now. And I even hate splitting my fingers. Even when I do this, I still have to do my twos like this because it's more comfortable. It feels like it's more unity right here. I feel more togetherness when I do this, opposed from doing this and doing this. You know what I mean? How can you be connected with source and you don't even understand the symbology that you're throwing up? I used to do this when I was little because people told me it was peace sign, but nobody ever told me why this was peace sign. You know, I just knew I had to stretch my fingers out. It looked like bunny ears and they said the peace sign. But to me, when I look at it now, it looked like double horns. These are two horns. I don't rock with this team. This is my team right here. You know, this is peace, love, and light. This is together. This is unity. You know what I mean? These two fingers are stronger together than it is apart. I mean, if you can get clarity in a lot of these things, then it makes sense to try to get the clarity so you can get a better understanding, so you can actually know what's happening and you could be making better choices and decisions. Even if things don't work out in your favor, at least you still know. Wouldn't you rather know how to play Monopoly the right way and then figure out how, if you want to cheat or do other things, opposed from just starting off Monopoly and then not knowing how to play? It's not your role, but you trying to roll. You turn over community chest, but it's not your turn, so now they got to reshuffle the deck of cards. You know what I mean? Like, you took too much money out the bank. You moved your piece too many far pieces because you didn't count the dice right. Like, that's too much. Learn the rules the right way, then put your own sauce on it. Learn the rules the right way, then put your own sauce on it. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.